What is happening, everybody? We'll do it live. We'll do it live. That's right. Let's see here. How you guys doing? I decided, you know what? F it. F it. Probably nothing's going to happen. Nothing's most likely going to happen during this panel. It's probably just going to be strictly Creature Commandos. They're going to release a trailer. They're going to talk about it. God knows. But you never know. There could be something, and hopefully we get a little something extra. Maybe. Who knows? So I just said F it. Let's just do it live. You know, it's only like a half an hour panel, I believe, right? I think it's only a half an hour. But I'd still plan on doing a live, doing a show later, a stream later, at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to do a stream where it's going to be open to members and patrons. So if you're a part of, you know, the membership of the channel, if you have a membership to the channel, you'll get a link. If you're a Patreon, if you're part of the Patreon, you'll also get a link too. What's going on, Israel? Good to see you. We got RJ right here. Hype. That's what we're trying to do here. I think a lot of us want DC to thrive a little bit here. What's going on, Naval? Good to see you. Donovan, what is happening? I know the line, it's a big line, it's a big turnout. That's for damn sure. So hopefully there'll be some, if did Gunn really said that? That's I don't know. I didn't hear it. Did he actually say that, or did somebody else? I think somebody else said that. Let's see. All right. Let's see who else is out here. We got Phill. Phil's gonna actually join me, so I won't be by myself doing this. What's going on, James? Yeah, hope for some kind of surprises. Yeah, see, it's Gunn didn't say it was like DC. Yeah, but you know, it's maybe. I mean, DC film news. But yeah, it's probably just, who knows? It might not be anything. But I figured, why not show the support, do live reactions? Maybe there'll be something. But you know, expectations aren't that high. So hopefully. What's going on, Kazi? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see who else we got here. What else we got? I'm feeling all right, actually. Okay, shit you not, guys. I slept for about 10 hours. I slept about 10 hours. I have not slept that long in forever. I went to bed after the Vodka stream last night. It was probably about, after we talked after the stream, I probably went to bed about 1 o'clock, a little after 1, and I woke up, well, it's more like 9.5 hours. I woke up at 10:30 this morning, straight sleep. I was in a coma, and I felt fucking great when I woke up. I had a little hungover, not gonna lie, but nothing the little hair of the dog can't handle. Let's take a shot. A little hair of the dog. But yeah, I slept for like almost 10 hours, about 9.5, just straight through, and that usually never happens. Usually on Saturday, especially after a vodka stream, I'll wake up still at like 7 o'clock in the morning. But I freaking woke up at 10:30. Woo, baby. It was good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Gunn has brought, I hear Soup's announcement is going to happen. I hope so. I hope there's something. James is going to reboot DC. Need to stop it with the unnecessary sequels. Well, I hope there's something. Panel has officially started. All right. They got the guy who, oh yeah, that's Horowitz, right? What's going on, Phill?
What's happening?
Yeah, you know, not much. Just seeing what the hell this panel's going to have. Not expecting a whole lot, but we'll see. But
I'm not either. I think it's going to be Creature Commando centered a
lot. A
lot.
little hair of the dog, so
yeah. I don't at all anticipate anything more than anything Creature Commandos.
Yeah, let's see that. Has it started? Why is this thing not?
According to RJ, it started.
Yeah. Okay. So they're just bringing everybody out. I don't know if I should show this or. I don't know if I should show this or would my stream get dive bombed? I don't know.
Is it an image or is it just your Twitter feed?
It's a full on stream. I mean, I guess I can kind of like, I don't know how much I could show, but there it is right here.
Oh wow.
So they got the full thing going. Holy
shit. Wow.
Yeah. Get rid of this.
You spotted a Superman? You spotted a
Wow.
I mean, they're doing a flat out full thing here.
That's the last thing I expected.
Let's get Mr. James Gunn, a working mic, if we could. We need to hear.
There we go.
There
I said I spotted a Superman.
There you go. Microphone's working.
James, welcome to your home turf, Comic-Con. This is like more home than your actual home, I would imagine, by now.
Oh, man, this is the greatest to be back here again. I only make movies so that I can come to comic conventions. That's the whole reason we do this thing, is for these guys.
Loves the energy.
Before we launch into a conversation,
there.
we're going to give these folks a sneak peek.
Wonder
Are
exactly.
you guys ready to check out the latest, the newest, amazing trailer for Creature Commandos?
Oh, we're getting a new
Check it
trailer.
out
Right
here, right
now.
I called it. I said in the chat, new trailer for Creature Commandos.
We can't watch it. Damn it. How dare you?
They'll probably drop it online later.
Yeah, it'll be dropped online.
That's
Go ahead
funny.
and mute
That's
that.
too
That's
funny.
funny. So that's well, yeah, they're gonna drop that later. That's hilarious.
Oh, for sure.
They're like,
How can they not? The show comes
Yeah.
out in less than 2 months.
Yeah, definitely.
Penguin ends beginning of next month, then Dune Prophecy, and then what are they going to do after Dune Prophecy? Probably fucking Creature Commandos.
Oh,
my
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's funny. I was like, oh yeah, well, at least we get this, but I wonder when they'll release it though.
They'll
Right
probably
away
do
or
like a
whatnot.
2.5, 3 minute trailer. I don't know.
Did you see they're bringing back DC Vertigo?
I saw that. I saw that Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb are doing another Hush book.
Yeah,
And there
I
was
didn't see
one
that.
other thing I saw. Oh, you know what we forgot to talk about yesterday? There's Absolute
What?
Flash and Absolute Martian Manhunter. that are
Yeah.
happening. Those look dope. I saw the covers
Mhm.
for that. That looks cool. And Al Ewing is doing Absolute Green Lantern. It's going to be Guy, Hal, and John Stewart.
Nice. Yeah, seems like they're literally going all in for
Oh, for sure, yeah.
for that. And then they released this trailer today since we're waiting for the feed to come back. Whoops. Let me put it over here. Let's see. We did this trailer today that they released. I don't know if you saw this. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
Saw the announcement. Didn't know they did a trailer for it.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember the first one? Was there a first one? Or was it just?
Was
How
that
come I don't
Ghidorah?
remember the first one? Huh?
I remember the first one. I never read it, but like,
Was it actually Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, or was it just?
Yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it was that whole title. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Because I remember there being something with Godzilla, but I didn't know it was also Kong.
That's wild.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, there was at least that. So let's see. All right, the feed is back. So let's see what we got here.
With Creature Commandos.
Well, the reason is, very technical. It's because it was written when I started as the CEO of DC Studios. The truth is like I had talked to Max about creating something after the Peacemaker did so well, and doing something in animation. And I talked to thanks guys, and I talked to Peter Girardi over at WB Animation about creating an animated series. I like the Creature Commandos. I love monsters. I love Frankenstein and the story of Bride of Frankenstein. And so it just seemed like the perfect thing to do. And I wrote the scripts without even having a deal. And then I happened to get hired as the head of DC Studios. And I very graciously, thank you, Self, greenlit the show. And we made it.
At least he knows.
How would you say when we see the show, this sets
yourself.
a creative template going forward, if it does at all?
Well, I think what this show
just
does
pat
is
myself on the
it
back here
shows
for that
this
one,
show
right?
is its own thing, and every single project that comes out of DC Studios is going to be its own thing. This is we want this to be very different from what Superman is going to be when that comes out. We want Peacemaker to be different from that when that comes out. But also, those are just the things I'm doing. Right now, Anna and Craig are dealing with Supergirl, and it's just going tremendously well. We have Chris and Damon and Tom who are dealing with Lanterns, getting ready to shoot that, and that's been amazingly well. So every one of those things is going to be very different. It's a connected universe, but we're not imposing any sort of overall aesthetic. And the Creature Commandos show is definitely its own thing, as you can see.
Talking about an aesthetic, there are very specific stylistic choices you and Dean have crafted here. Talk to me a little bit about, you can obviously go many different ways, innumerable ways in animation. How did you arrive at the look that we're seeing in Creature Commandos?
That's a good question for Dean.
Yeah, well, first of all, you can see it's got like a real sort of Eastern European kind of aesthetic to it. We were looking to do something that was sort of grounded, but with some style to it. So, it's got a lot of really dark tones. That palette's really kind of cool. But as you can see, it's very action oriented. It sets itself apart from, say, Harley Quinn and those kind of shows. It's I don't know, it feels more adult, I think.
How did you find working in animation? Did it free you up creatively? I mean, obviously all your work has...
This has been a really interesting experience. So I got the first finished episode back. This has been a long process because it takes a long time. And, I wrote the episodes, got the cast, we directed the cast. They all were fantastic. They start with animatics. They go through that, a few drafts of that, and it keeps changing and changing and changing and changing. I got the first episode back. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I think this is going to be okay. Let me just preface this by saying I started out as a screenwriter. Working with directors is really hard because you never have it as good as you imagine it in your brain, which is one of the reasons why I started working as a director. And I'm not the director. I directed the voice actors, but not the animation. And the first episode was good. Then the second episode, I was like, oh, shoot. Wow, this is actually really good.
He almost did it.
Then it got to
It's an M-rated show.
Why and I'm like, this is the best experience I've ever had with a director who wasn't myself. And then episode 7 came about, and I'm like, this is better than myself. This is the best experience I've ever had on any project I've ever worked on, including Guardians, including the Avengers movies, including anything. And I just have been so proud of just everybody has come together in such a perfect way. This cast here, the guys over at Bobby Pills who did the animation, Dean and Rich and the guys over there, the guys, Peter Girardi and the guys at Warner Brothers Animation, everybody really pitched in to make it something beyond, I think, what any of us expected. And I think the cast felt that way too from all the text I was getting when they saw the first 4 episodes. And it gets even better after that.
So, okay, I want to get to the cast, but first, just talk to me about, look, there's some folks that are new to you here. There are some folks that have obviously worked with you before. Yeah. What was the approach? Did you write with specific folks in mind? Obviously, there's some folks that we've seen before that you're writing.
I mean, most people up here I actually wrote for. I mean, obviously, Steve Agee was already John Economos in Peacemaker.
It's died again.
Alan is somebody, he was my first choice for Dr. Phosphorus.
He did, yeah.
He told me that
we've worked together a lot. He's been my friend. He's been in a bunch of stuff, so he was my first choice. I didn't write specifically for him, but I thought of him early on. Maria I wrote for. She was the first person ever cast in the DCU. So I texted her because she speaks Bulgarian, and we needed to have Princess Rostovich, and we needed to hire everybody from that country, and they need to speak the same language. So I wanted it to have, wanted it to be what Maria spoke. So she was hired. Next guy, what's the next guy's name again?
Sean
Gunn. He, I wrote the character. He already played Weasel, and then I thought he'd be good at G.I. Robot. He's fantastic. Zoe, I had never met. She auditioned. She freaking killed me, and she kills me on the show. And the heart of Nina Mazursky, who is the heart of the show. She's, one of the leads along with the bride and Rick Flag. And
thanks, guys.
Harbor is somebody who I've wanted to work with a lot.
Go on.
He's a genius.
Please continue.
Yeah, he's the greatest person I've ever met.
I think that's good.
That's a little much. No, he's somebody I want to work with. We offered him the role of Frankenstein. Man, you guys, this version of Frankenstein goes back a lot to the original, version of Mary Shelley, and he's fantastic. And then Grillo and I had talked about working together forever.
Good deal.
And you know, we've been literally for probably 6-7 years we've talked about doing something together. And when I came over to DC, I was like, yeah, I think I have the right thing.
Yeah, and I paid him some money, and it all worked out in my favor.
That's right.
So
that's
thanks,
how DC works now. Payola.
Yeah. When in doubt, bribery works. That's the message today. Okay, so let's go down the line. Steve, obviously, you have some history with this character. Economist in this one, similar take on it. What is it? A totally different thing when you're in the VO booth as opposed to being on Peacemaker?
Economist is steadily staying the same. His arc is a straight line to awesomeness. Yeah, he's not a hero. He's not a monster. He's just a terrified pussy. And we saw that in Peacemaker season 1, and you'll see it in 2 and in this show as well.
Love it. Alan, Dr. Phosphorus, maybe the coolest name.
Oh, fuck, that is Alan
Let's
Tudyk,
start
isn't
there.
it?
Yes.
Right?
Coolest name.
Talk to me a little bit about this character. What do we need to know? Is he a good hang? Tell us about Dr. Phosphorus.
Good hang.
He's not a good man. He's a monster. He's a homicidal killer and takes joy in causing pain. You do get his backstory. Everybody's gonna, you're gonna see where everybody came from, their origins, and it's terrifying, and it's what created him. It's that's why they call it an origin story.
Oh, thanks, Alan.
Yep. Wow. And I think I can't wait for everybody to see this, because there's moments where you are shocked in horror and moved, and then by the same characters can make you laugh and then also make you cringe because they're so violent and screwed up. That's my character. He's one of those people.
Maria, you are not a creature commando. We can say that. Where do you fit into this storyline here? Where does Ilana Rostovic fit in?
Well, you know, I got to work with James Gunn on Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was so excited that this is happening, because he's not only incredibly, extraordinarily talented writer, director, leader, but the nicest human being that I got to meet. So when Guardians ended, I was like, oh no, why am I getting here so late? I'm never going to see him again. And then one day I got a message. I'm writing something, thinking of you. She's going to be this femme fatale Disney princess, and it's going to be part of Creature Commandos. Look out for it. And I was like, what? Is it really going to happen? And then it happened. And it's an original character that he developed, and I'm humbled and honored to play it. It's interesting.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, cool.
Sean, we get to see the return of Weasel, but we also see, yes. GI robots.
Yeah.
Educate us. What do we need to know?
Yeah. Well, it's really cool. I love both these characters. The Weasel, I know that the public had been really clamoring for more Weasel after the Suicide Squad. It wasn't nearly enough. But it was really cool being able to explore his arc. We get to learn a lot more about the Weasel. You know, for better or for worse, which is very cool. And then of course, G.I. Robot. It's nice to play a character that doesn't just screech and squeal and lick. A lot of licking. But G.I. Robot hates Nazis, which
your brother's balls,
I hate Nazis. So it was really, I could immediately have something to sink my teeth into, and I love both these characters. I love this show. It's really, you know, as James is saying, it's one of the, I've been working with him forever, and it was one of my favorite things. I was like, is this my favorite thing he's ever written? That's crazy. And it might be. I just really, really love it.
That's a good hype man right there.
Yeah. We have a lot of Comic-Con veterans in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Zoe Chow's first Comic-Con. Make her feel welcome. Nina Mazursky, not necessarily a name I would associate with a superhero team, but she's a part of it. Tell us about her.
She is. She is an aquatic being.
Yeah.
She can only
breathe in water. She wears a water suit and a water helmet tank. And at night, she goes to sleep in a bathtub when she takes off her suit. And she's arguably the kindest and most reasonable of this bunch. And even though she has a tragic origin story, yeah, she remains a very open and feeling character, and is kind of the pathos in this season. And I think that's her superpower.
How does she eat?
Oh, I'll tell you, Frank. She puts food into the chute that's in her collar, and then it bubbles up into her helmet, and then she eats the food. And I really hope we get to do that live action.
Interesting.
David Harbour, the always humble, calm, sedate David Harbour. Come on.
What's up, Comic-Con? God, I love New York Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I live in Brooklyn. I'm a nerd like all of you. I love it. Speaking of kind and reasonable characters,
Frankenstein obviously comes to mind.
Yeah.
What's your Frankenstein? Recognizable? James was talking about going to source material a bit, the ages. Yeah,
it's interesting. I mean, it's definitely its own take for sure. But, you know, you do have this Frankenstein and the Bride story, which has a bit of a traditional thing to it. And I was, when, you know, he sent me the script, I've loved the character of Frankenstein. I think it's because, you know, it's just sort of in my wheelhouse that if you have like a large person who sort of has the inner workings of a tantrumy 4-year-old, you're going to want to get David Harbour. But I really love, you know, the story of Frankenstein's monster being this being that was created to be like a companion, this erudite companion who just is kind of off kilter and then finds himself needing a mate and having no one. And so one is created for him. And that's not the way to get a girl, apparently, as you'll see. Spoiler alert. But yeah, again, you know, like everybody's saying up here, I sound like just aping everyone else's comments, but it is, you know, it's a familiar theme, but it's a very original take, and it's some beautiful storytelling, and I just love the character, and I think people will be really surprised by it, as I was.
Mr. Frank Grillo, we are so happy you're a part of this, man. As James said, it sounds like you've had conversations over the years. So when it finally happened, when he finally came to you and said, Frank, I've got it, what's that phone call like? How much of a give and take is there?
Yeah, I think all of us can agree that when Gunn calls you, you know, I think he got like the couple of words out and it was like, hey, I got this thing. I went, okay. and that was kind of it. And then, as he said, we got all the scripts at one time and I read it and I was like, wow, this is special. And why do you want me? And I, fell in love with it immediately. And it's a character that's kind of in my wheelhouse, like the grizzled ex-military troubled guy who's got to be the straight man and take care of all these maniacs. And it was a lot of fun. I got to work with David in the booth, and I was on the ground most of the time because he had me hysterical laughing for about 4 hours and then crying a little bit. He got me. Yeah.
There's a bit of a bromance between Frankenstein and Rick Flag Sr., which comes easy.
Yeah.
When you're working with someone who's definitely handsome.
Go on.
But it
It
was a really fun little element. And we got to, because in animation, a lot of times you don't meet anyone you work with. Like I haven't met any of the rest of you. Hi. But yeah, Frank and I were in the booth together. There's a lot of like kind of overlapping. We played around a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
It was great. And then Maria and I we have in the show, we have a very steamy X-rated kind of scene, which I watched with my 16-year-old son, who was fairly traumatized.
Just for the record, X-rated is pushing it.
It's not X-rated. It's a love scene.
It's a steamy scene. Yeah,
it's a hard R. Yeah, it's a hard. No, I mean, come on, it's a hard R. You can say that. He's a 4,000 of our closest friends. Right? Right.
Yeah, he's selling it, man.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun.
I got the best video ever. Because I was in Zoom, they were both in the booth.
Yeah.
And I took video of them because they have to, they're having sex. And I have video of Frank and Maria in the booth, trying to coax them into this scene. And they're moaning and they're making out and kissing. And they're both just like making out with their hands. And I've got this video of them that I will release when episode 2 comes out.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Further embarrassment for my 16-year-old son.
It's a really great scene. I watched it 30 or 40 times, and it's really it's really excellent.
Anybody else have any embarrassing committed to the cause efforts in the booth? Because you can look like a fool in a booth when you're really committing 150%. Anything you guys had to do in the booth that, in retrospect, if you had a camera on you, you're embarrassed about?
Well, every line Sean did was embarrassing. By Weasel.
My superpower is I guess I don't get embarrassed. I don't know why. I just shut that off at some point. But yeah, there's a lot of like, as I mentioned the licking, there's a whole lot of like, can we get a longer, slower lick here, And I'm a professional. So I'm like, of course, that's what I'm going to give you. I'm not embarrassed.
Yeah.
You're embarrassed. I don't.
Yeah.
So
he was doing it for a while, and he was waiting for somebody to call cut, and finally he said, "Am I done licking myself?"
Yeah, can I?
James, you've said before that the intention is potentially to see some of these characters in live action. So does that inform how they are animated, in that you don't want to go too far? You want to be able to convey them if and when you go live action. Does it influence?
Well, absolutely. Not only do we want to, but I mean, Rick Flag appears in Superman. He appears in, he's a major character in Peacemaker season 2.
Of course. Yeah.
And so, yeah, when we cast the characters, we wanted to cast people that could play those characters in live action, at least for the major characters. So that was something that we just thought of from the beginning. I also have to give a shout out to Indira Varma, who's not here.
Yes.
Who couldn't be here today, but she's incredible on the show. The bride is, in a lot of ways, the protagonist of the show, and she's just amazing. And so I just want to mention her. Also, we have some great people that came in for guest spots for us.
Oh yeah,
Michael Rooker played a character on
that tracks.
Peter Serafinowicz.
He was amazing.
Linda Cardellini. Ben Davis plays Dutch, and so it's like
Greg Henry.
This is who you hear in the trailer, actually. But all these wonderful people. Greg Henry, of course, who plays Zoe's dad. Really amazing actors overall, who just have all put themselves into this.
Is it, speaking of the looks of them in animation and live action, Frank, is it true when you saw the animation version that it kind of influenced how you were going to be shown in season 2 of Peacemaker? You kind of looked at how you were
I did. I wanted to cut my hair the same way. I wanted to make it white, kind of like what James has going on. I really wanted to look exactly like that. I wanted somebody's body imposed over mine, but I was doing another show at the time, Tulsa King, and I was like, I had longer hair, and we kind of had to reverse engineer.
We did.
My hair because of, and so I never got to do, but in season 3, I think maybe. What?
You go suddenly completely.
Yeah, I go white, and maybe I could cut my hair a little bit. Yeah.
We get it as close as we can.
We did, yeah. But people have asked, like, is my hair white and stuff? And I'm like, no, it's not.
Oh,
it must be
your
invaluable
hair
for you guys, though, because I assume you saw renderings of your characters when you're in the VO booth. How did that inform your portrayals of the characters?
I didn't see the character drawing till afterwards, but I know what John Economist looks like because I've already been doing it.
So did you see Nina? Did you see Nina before you recorded?
No.
Oh, really?
I don't think so. But I was like, there are my gills.
Yeah.
I'm so.
How do you know? Okay, we kind of alluded to this before. You talked about kind of a love scene in the show, but like, the ability to go big and weird and extreme in animation, like how far to push it. Is that just an internal barometer you have for yourself?
Well, I mean, there was one thing in the show I remember that I thought was too much, and I pulled it back a little bit. But
James Gunn said
dialing it back. I mean, for the most part, when you have actors this great, you're just giving little nudges one way or another.
Yeah.
Can we also allude to maybe the structure of the show, which I found very interesting, in that this does tell a single story while at the same time exploring the backstories, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we stole it from Lost, but basically it's the first episode is, you just see the team come together, but then every episode after that explores the backstory of one of these characters. Not necessarily the origin, in some places the origin, but just something from their past that we see about how they got to the place where they are today. And we get to know these characters in a much more intimate way because of that, and I think it's a really fun way to get to know them. And you see that some of them are a lot better than maybe we think they are at the beginning of the series, and some of them are even worse. Right? So it's really fun. I think that a lot of people have said to me, "Well, this is Guardians of the Galaxy. It's about a team of misfits coming together," and I'm like, "Well, there's some truth to that, but the truth is, this is like at the end of the day with the Guardians of the Galaxy, you know that those characters are all good people and animals and trees." This isn't necessarily the case. This is kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy with the sentimentality stripped back, because the characters aren't all perfect and the stories aren't perfect, and characters die, and it isn't always for a purpose. Like when Yondu dies at the end of Guardians 2, sometimes it's just a tragic
He loves bringing that up all the time. Yeah, I killed Yondu.
It's a darker story than that in a lot of ways, but hopefully equally invigorating.
That being said, I mean, I've seen 4 of them. It is hugely emotional. I don't tend to cry or get emotional watching animation short of Pixar, but you go there. You really do push it, and it's very effective.
Good.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I remember writing one of the episodes, I don't even know what I should say, which one, episode 4.
There you go.
I won't say who it's about. And I walked I was in Colorado with my wife, Jen, and I walked into the kitchen and I was like,
Miss Harcourt,
I think this is the saddest thing I've ever written in my entire life. It is really heartbreaking. And I could feel it in my bones how sad it was. It also happened to be the episode that I was the most insane about getting right,
Yeah, you were really on top of that one. Yeah, but it was great. And when we were working on the episodes, I give a big shout out to Rick Morales, who was our animation supervisor, did an amazing job. As we finish each episode, we'd come in and see each other and go, "Is this as good as we think it is?" And it was just like it kept growing, and we fell in love with the project as we were working on it.
I assume by now, most, if not all of you, have seen some of the episodes. What struck you? I mean, obviously, it goes to a whole nother level. You're in the VO booth, you read the scripts, but then see all the art come together must be a trip. What struck you? What surprised you?
It's sexy.
There you go.
Ooh, it's so sexy.
Super sexy.
Yeah. You're not used to it in animation. I mean, I'm not. That's not the kind of stuff I watch. But it's a French company, right? A French animation.
Yeah, Bobby Phill, and they're fantastic. They're really incredible partners throughout this whole process.
They invented tongue kissing.
Hopefully they do more.
So they know about sexy.
Not more tongue kissing animation.
There's sex in this. It is an adult show, and it has all the adult things. One of those things is sex.
Sex. Yeah. So much sex. I thought Bobby Pills was a guy.
It's a great name for a guy.
Hi, I'm Bobby Pills. I animate.
I thought it was a woman.
I knew that, when we started this process that, Maria's character, the princess, and that, Rick Flag, people were going to think they were attractive people. But what I've been sort of surprised by is the amount of people that are attracted to Nina Mazursky online.
Are you aware of this?
Of like, oh my God, the fish girl, with the sweaty tongue out emoji.
James told this to me earlier, and I am gobsmacked. But cool.
Hey, lean in.
And Weasel, right? And Weasel, a lot of people.
Not as much.
Yeah.
And Frankenstein. Give Frankenstein some love, obviously.
Back to your original question, Josh. I think for me it's like as you said, James, it's something about the unexpectedness of like you find yourself falling into these characters as you're watching the episodes and falling into the emotion, and then they'll do something really. You're like, oh, that's not a good thing. I don't like. You're not going to actually just murder that. Oh, I guess you are. And there's something about that unnervingness that. I really enjoy. Like everything's unexpected. There isn't a sentimentality to it. You're not sure where it's going to go. You do fall in love with the characters, and I think you feel things for them. But then they also will do things that it will infuriate you, and I really like that. But I'm a weirdo.
Nice. That's where you're in the right place. Don't worry, David.
Yeah, I'm here.
Dean, obviously you had extensive experience in animation before. What do you think you brought from Harley Quinn, et cetera, to this project? How do you take it to the next level? What do you take the learnings from there to Creature Commandos?
Well, maybe the one thing that this shares in common with Harley and Kite Man to some extent is, even though those are comedies, pretty clearly comedies, we took them seriously dramatically. Like, we took the relationships very seriously. When there was a death or anything like that, we wanted people to feel it. And so that was a little bit of a crossover, because this gave us an opportunity to more fully do that than we could do in a pure comedy like those shows.
Whoa!
There's the audience for Creature Commandos.
Somebody brought a baby to the freaking pen. What the
Start 'em young.
hell?
Okay, who's jealous of another character on the stage? If you could play a different character other than your own, having now read the scripts, seen the show,
Commandos panel.
Is your own character your favorite, David? I can see your quizzical look at me.
What the hell was that?
What did you ask? If you can play a character
If you could play any other character in the cast,
a
for
character
day.
other than Frankenstein, who would you play?
Thank you for
who would I
translating.
play?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, the fish girl.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That checks out. Yeah.
No, I don't. Fish. I'm breathing in water. The thing's gonna come up and I'm gonna eat it. Yeah, I want to be the fish girl. Who you want to be?
Well, to be honest, Nina really resonates with me. She this is an earnest answer, but she struggles all of her life to sort of find her tribe and where she belongs. And, she's half human, half fish, and I am biracial.
Hey,
and that it does kind of sound silly to talk about it in 2024, but like, I grew up in the 90s and white community and stuff. So what was so compelling about Nina's story is how she remains so open to unexpected relationships, friendships, like with G.I. Robot and Bride, even though she's been shunned by so many people in the past. So I ride for Nina.
Wow, so that's 2 votes for the fish girl.
I'd play Economos because it's just so easy. Like, that dude barely does anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, you don't have to work very hard to play a Economos.
Yeah,
That's like any actor.
You could just you could just pick an actor at random.
Yeah, but
and
anybody,
they do a fine job at
We
it.
could pick anybody out of this crowd, and they would do just as fine a job.
Fucking right here, man. I can hear you.
He just said.
Do you have a rebuttal, Steve? Are you okay?
I'd play Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Wait, the same way you play Economos, or would it be different?
I honestly can barely hear anything anybody is saying. But yes.
It is a treat getting Viola Davis, come on, to be a part of the show.
Viola
again.
was like, she's one of my favorite actors I've ever worked with, if not my very favorite. She's such a great woman. And when she was the last major character that we recorded, and when she came in, we had other people doing that role. They did a great job that were, placeholders. And when Viola came in and did, Amanda, it just grounded it so well. And she's so incredible in the show. Gets a chance to do a little bit of humorous stuff too, and some emotional stuff. And she's just really brought everything together. And I'm so fortunate to have her as a person in my life and in my creative life.
What was the process of, because it obviously has links to Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, and kind of picking and choosing what to retain from those to bring to this?
Well, I mean, it's really, for me, it's all first and foremost about story. We don't want anybody coming to Creature Commandos and going, oh, you have to watch the Suicide Squad to understand what happened in Creature Commandos. Oh, you have to watch the Peacemaker. We want people to be able to come in this totally blind and they're totally excited by it. So there's nothing that isn't explained in the show itself. However, there are references to some other things that happened in the past, and those things then become canon in the DCU because we mentioned them in this show. So we have references to Peacemaker situations. We have we learned a little bit that your son died. We learned that other things that have happened in the past in other media have still happened.
Yeah. And there are, safe to say, we obviously know Frank, Steve, we will see again in live action, but there are plans afoot. You are thinking of how to utilize this amazing cast.
Absolutely. We have ideas for other things. And a couple of these people may appear in other media, as other characters, soon.
Oh.
What?
Okay. Oh, he's referring to Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah, he totally is.
Speaking of other media.
Okay, come on.
James, you've been a busy man. There is a lot on the DCU
Let's
plate.
have some more shit here. Come on.
Give us some updates. Let's start.
Yes.
It's you fucking dog.
You're just saw there's a new helmet for our Peacemaker. So
it's an old helmet. It was from season 1 that Steve Agee took from season 1. So not a new helmet. It's an old helmet.
Fair enough. So
there are new helmets, but that's not one of them. Peacemaker we're shooting it now. I shot till late last night and then came in today for this. I have to go back and shoot on Monday. The new series has been going exceptionally well. Somewhere we have Greg Mottola in the audience, who great director of Superbad and other fine films, who directed 2 of the best Peacemaker episodes ever in episodes 2 and 3 of season 2. And it's going exceptionally well. John Cena has improved as an actor in a way that I have honest to God, I have never seen anyone who has gotten so much better in such a short amount of time. He was great in the first season.
Oh, what happened? No.
And the rest of the cast is all there. The 11th Street Kids, as they're called, and we're having a great time shooting that. And it's a very different season of Peacemaker, very magical.
He also did.
I'm just excited to see him back in the costume on the press tour again. I hope he commits. I know he will. He always does. Superman.
Oh,
yeah. Very excited. Next summer, Superman. You recently showed off Crypto.
We have Crypto now. Crypto is Crypto's been something that has been just amazing. We've been working with him in the edit, and he's just he's an incredible part of the story. He was an incredible part of the story to me personally. When I was writing the screenplay, he kind of came in and changed everything up. And the movie is going extraordinarily well. We're deep in the process of editing. David Corn Sweat is going to blow people the fuck away.
There you go, James. Drop that F-bomb.
He is the movie star that that everyone just dreams he could possibly be. And I don't think anyone really understands the depth of this guy's talent. Dramatically, comedically, he's the best physical, action star I've probably ever worked with, except for,
Yeah, take it down a notch.
Except for Frank.
Let's take it easy. I've heard
Frank. He's an amazing actor, and Rachel Brosnahan, people are going to die for her as Lois. Eddie Gathecki is Mr. Terrific. So it's really been it's been a great process. Where the edit is getting really close to being good. I mean, the movie's good, so it's like I feel good about it, and it's I'm really hard on stuff, so it's been fantastic.
Is there any footage on you? Do you have the trailer on you?
Come on,
do you have is there a trailer yet?
Come on.
Now you're teasing them. No, I don't have a trailer, guys. Don't get too excited. There's no trailer. No Superman trailer. I have some stuff on my phone.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Everybody, let's rush him and get his phone. Yeah.
I took it off me just in case people attacked me.
Smart man.
Somebody in the audience has it. You have to guess who. Yeah, no, there's lots of stuff. It won't be too long before we see a trailer, but it's also not going to be too soon.
CCXP.
A little update on Supergirl. We have a director. We have a Supergirl, obviously.
Yes.
What can you tease about the story we're going to see for Supergirl on the big screen?
Well, so, Anna and Craig, the writer and the director, have been doing a fantastic job of spearheading this. We start shooting in England in January.
There it is.
I just saw, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I just saw the screen test for Ruthie, with Billy Alcock, who's playing Supergirl. And oh my God, I'm so excited. And and that's another project that's just been blessed from the beginning. Anna came in and she pitched the story to me of Supergirl, and it was just one of the best pitches I'd ever heard. And she immediately wrote it. She came in with the first draft that was great, and it's just gotten better and better. And then Craig has been incredibly easy to work with. And I can't wait for that one to come out. It's very much based on Tom King's comic Woman of Tomorrow.
Right.
There are, of course, differences because it's a 3-act structure, so it's a little bit different in the structure of which kind of goes through various stories. But it has all those major characters, the major themes. Supergirl's a mess, and it's something I can't wait for people to see. I think it's a completely different, unique take on a superhero.
Wow.
And talking about unique takes, it sounds like the Green Lantern story we're going to see in Lanterns is different than we've ever seen. We're all very excited about this. The casting has just come together.
Yeah.
Aaron Pierre, Kyle Chandler.
That's right. Well, Aaron Pierre is somebody who I've wanted to work together with for a long time. He's, people don't know, but he was almost Adam Warlock.
What?
He's an amazing actor, and I've just really admired him from the beginning of his career.
Wow.
And so when it got down to it, he was just fantastic. And seeing him read with Kyle was sort of one of those miraculous moments where you go, oh my God, I don't care what they're saying. I just love everything they're saying together.
The chemistry. That's good.
Chris, Damon, and Tom have put this thing together. It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning. It's something, when we first started the DCU, in the first couple of weeks of heading this up, we got together with a group of writers, and Tom King was one of those writers, and we were in this room, and we came up with sort of this concept for Lanterns, and then we got Chris and Damon involved, and it just kind of has come out very easily, very naturally. It's a much more, it's a very grounded series, a very real series, which is strange to say in a Green Lantern show, but it's going to be something like nobody's ever seen before, and I can't wait for people to catch it on HBO when it comes out.
Yes.
You've got a lot on your plate, sir, so we thank you for lending your time to us today. The DCU is in good hands with Mr. James Gunn. Folks, Creature Commandos, if I haven't said it enough, it's coming out December 5th. It will be your new obsession. It's fantastic. Before we all go, I just want to say, we're going to show a slide here. This is a first look at the first Creature Commandos product available right now, including a first look at Funko's collection. If we could see this. I was told this. There it is. You can go to DC.com and DC shop. That's shop.dc.com.
You can
and
see
more
it on
info is coming soon, so definitely keep an eye out
There it
for
is.
that.
And Zoe's walking around with a whole bag full of Nina Mazurskis.
It's true.
That's right. Everybody's
Come
new
at
crush.
me.
Nina Mazursky, everybody's new crush. Everybody give it up one more time for James Gunn, the amazing cast of Creature Commandos.
Can I just say thank you guys for the warm welcome. Thank you for everything. I've never been to New York Comic Con, and I'm just so appreciative to be here. I love you guys. Thank you for all your love and support online. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Interesting.
There you go. All right.
Wow.
There is that right there. Man, I was like going, are they going to show something? But at least he talked about it, I guess,
Did he basically confirm that Superman is coming at CCXP?
Yeah, I think he basically did. I think he basically did.
That sounds about right.
Like the fact that he was like, oh yeah, we got a cut and we got something, but it might happen soon and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. CCXP. When is CCXP? Like December?
early December, like right around the time Creature Commandos.
I mean, pretty much David Cornsweet, when he went on that one podcast, he talked about, he literally, like, when the host was asking him, he's like December. He said December, like, quickly. He's like, December. I'm like, that's when the whole thing's going to kick off. So yeah, I guess we could say CCXP for sure. But yeah, let's watch that Creature Commandos trailer. Why not? Before we wrap this up, let's see. I know they released it officially, and hopefully, don't copyright this thing. Come on, we're trying to promote your shit here, guys. Come on. Anyways, so here it is right here. Let's see what this is like, because there we go.
General Flag, you found yourself in the middle of an international incident.
Oh, princess.
Oh.
The United States is in the business of saving the damn world by any means necessary.
What in the holy hell?
Congress said we can't use human prisoners.
Oh.
These assholes aren't human.
Wow.
Do you understand me now? Who is she? We call her the bride.
I was born here.
Who's Jason and the Argonauts?
It's Dr. Phosphorus.
Why are you doing this? It's business. What is that then?
The weasel. We know it has what it takes to survive. That's Nina Mazursky.
Daddy?
Last one is G.I. Robot.
Cheers to the Tin Man. I know you all aren't exactly enthusiastic about this mission.
I didn't realize I had a choice.
You said you wanted me to be a hero. Not like that.
With a joy that's hard to hide.
Until we find out the truth of what's going on here. We're supposed to be on the same damn team.
G.I.
Friend Nina. And you're bound to see my other side.
Oh, shit.
I'm just a soul whose intentions are good.
You're always so hyperbolically violent. You need therapy.
Clayface!
Whoa, shit!
Clayface! Wow.
You wanted monsters. You got monsters.
Die, Nazi.
He's not a Nazi, G.I.
Oh, okay.
But oh, buddy, did you see that? Clayface is going to be showing. Where was he at? Oh no, I think I went
a little further. It is right.
This is after this. There he is.
Right.
Look at that,
Oh.
Clayface taking
Wow.
on Rick Flag Sr. Wow.
Wow.
So hey, at least we got a Clayface appearance here. Interesting. Wow. All right.
Interesting.
Like
Question is, which one is it? Is it Basil Carlo? Is it what's the other one's name from the animated series? Matt Hagen?
Matt Hagen, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. That. It probably is going to be Hagen, I would think. Maybe. I don't know. Interesting. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, that trailer, it's intriguing, and we'll see what happens when it comes to this. I mean, it is. I do still find it, as much as I'm trying to be like, hype for the DCU. It's just interesting that this is the official start, and I'm like, man. But then, of course, Superman is going to be like its whole other thing. But I don't know. Yeah, that trailer was good. I like that trailer.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That was fun. I'll be reviewing that for MOC. So
sure. Well, so there you go, guys. Like I said, this is a quick stream. We were not a quick stream; it's still like an hour long. But yeah, we just wanted to, do a little reaction to it. Like I said, I'll be doing a stream at 6 o'clock Pacific time, and if you're a member or a patron, you can be a part of it. I'll send the link to you if you want to be part of the discussion. Yeah, by all means, join up. But thanks, Phill, for joining in and reacting with me. And all right, guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys in about a little over 3 hours, and we'll talk again and everything. So, and get people's reactions about, well, pretty much everything, I guess you could say. So, all right, guys, we love you, and we'll talk to you later.